he was able to draw into his own heart and brain and synthesize and then give back on a canvas the result of that synthesis of life.
He was 50 years, maybe 75 years ahead of him, so he was certainly a pioneer.
Vance was a man of courage. He also was a most imaginative leader. You can see this in his paintings because he had many different periods and he executed all of them well. He was a giant among us.
Vance Kirkland as a person was a controversial, exciting, interesting, confrontational, fascinating man.
He was a very courageous painter. He managed to move with great rapidity from one style to another, and even toward the end of his very long life, his work was characterized by an individuality and a freshness, which I think really create a very special place for him, not only as a regional artist in our part of the country, but certainly on a national scale.
If I can keep on working and hopefully be able to make a better canvas every time I make another one, then I could survive as an artist and have a right to be an artist. I do believe that any artist has an obligation to show people something new, and maybe if you can relate it to somebody else, they'll gain from it. The fact that I'm dissatisfied means that I'm still searching for something else. Now maybe I'll find it and maybe never.
Vance was born in 1904 in Convoy, Ohio, and graduated from the Cleveland Institute of Art in 1928. In spite of a warning that he would be going to a cultural wilderness, and being a maverick, he immediately accepted an invitation to found the School of Art at the University of Denver. He arrived in January of 1929. The same year, Georgia O'Keeffe and John Marin began visiting New Mexico. The stock market crashed in October, ushering in the Great Depression. But Vance was able to continue exclusively and professionally in art his entire life. After 27 non-consecutive years, he was appointed Professor of Art Emeritus by the University of Denver. In 1932, he also established the successful Kirkland School of Art in his Denver studio, which classes were accredited by the University of Colorado for 14 years. This school and studio on Capitol Hill was the first commercial art building in Colorado. He married Anne Oliphant in 1941. In the 1940s and 50s, he won significant recognition in New York for his representational and surreal works, which were shown at the Museum of Modern Art, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and Knoedler Company for 10 years. Perhaps one of the contradictory aspects about Vance is that he didn't fit the image of a bohemian or eccentric artist, but he carved out a 54-year career as a painter and produced many original, powerful series of paintings. He was a rebel inside, even though he looked very proper on the outside. The artist Miro once said people sometimes appeared actually disappointed that he seemed to be so ordinary, unlike, for instance, his countrymen Picasso and Dali. Miro loved to recite a particularly apt saying that the procession marches inside you. What happens is inside you.